who are present. We'll have a very short kirtan and followed by the quick short Bhagavatam class. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandan Braj Jana Ranjana Yashodanandan Braj Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanichari Yamuna Tira Vanichari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayo Prabhupada Jayo Prabhupada Prabhupada Jayo Prabhupada Jai Guru Deva Jayo Guru Deva Guru Deva Jayo Guru Deva Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय पतित पावन गुरु महाराज की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. Hare Krishna. So I'll be sharing my screen and I would request one devotee to become my chorus. I hope my screen is visible. We are today discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto,
Yes, Prabhu.
number 9 and shloka number 12.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you for confirming.
Enlarge कर सकते हैं तो अच्छा.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, sure. Is it okay? Aho kaṣṭam, aho nyāyyaṁ.
Aho kaṣṭam, aho nyāyyaṁ.
Yad yūyaṁ dharma-nandanāḥ.
Yad yūyaṁ dharma-nandanāḥ.
Jīvituṁ nārhatha kliṣṭaṁ.
Jīvituṁ nārhatha kliṣṭaṁ.
vipra-dharmācyutāśrayāḥ.
Vipra-dharmācyutāśrayāḥ.
Thank you, Mataji. Now we shall proceed with the word by word meaning. Aho, oh, kaṣṭam, what terrible sufferings. Aho, oh, nyāyyaṁ, what terrible injustice. Yat, because. Yūyaṁ, all of you, good souls. Dharma-nandanāḥ, son of religion personified. Jīvituṁ, to remain alive. Na, never. Nārhatha, deserve. kliṣṭaṁ, suffering. Vipra-dharmāṇas, dharma, piety. Achyut, God. Ashraya, being protected by. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhīṣmadeva said, "Oh, what terrible sufferings and what terrible injustices you good souls suffer for being the sons of religion personified. You did not deserve to remain alive under those tribulations, yet you were protected by the brāhmaṇas, God and religion." Purport. Maharaj Yudhishthira was disturbed due to the great massacre in the battle of Kurukshetra. Bhīṣmadeva could understand this, and therefore he spoke first of the terrible sufferings of Maharaj Yudhishthir. He was put into difficulty by injustice only, and the battle of Kurukshetra was fought just to counteract this injustice. Therefore, he should not regret the great massacre. He wanted to point out particularly that they were always protected by brāhmaṇas, the Lord, and the religious principles. As long as they were protected by three important items, as long as they were protected by these three important items, there was no cause of disappointment. Thus, Bhīṣmadeva encouraged Maharaj Yudhishthir to dissipate his despondency. As long as a person is fully in cooperation with the wishes of the Lord, guided by the bona fide brāhmaṇas and Vaishnavas, and strictly following religious principles, one has no cause of despondency. However, trying the circumstances of life, Bhīṣmadeva, as one of the authorities in the line, wanted to impress this point upon the Pandavas. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Shah Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padana Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Shah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyev cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Deshatarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Nidhi Namane Namacharya Padaya Nidai Kripa Padaya Gaur Katha Dhamma Nagar Brahmatarane Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lingayate Grimyat Bhatan Deshe Guru Dinataranam Paramanandamatam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So we are discussing the chapter where Bhīṣmadeva is about to leave this material world. And before that, he is giving some wonderful instructions. And those instructions, even though it appears that it is Yudhishthira Maharaj asking these questions, but do you think it is only for Yudhishthira Maharaj? The answer is no. Actually, these instructions are specifically for all of us. You know, Bhīṣmadeva is giving such instruction, Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking. If you notice, our entire sampradaya is based on the question and answers. Initially, we see that when the Bhagavad Gita was spoken, so Krishna is speaking and Arjuna is asking. And then in the Bhagavatam, we see Parikshit Maharaj is asking and Sukdev Goswami is speaking. And here we see Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking and Bhīṣmadeva is speaking. And you see the situation in which they are speaking this wonderful knowledge. It is never a place where this knowledge is spoken in a very comfortable place in a AC air conditioner room in Taj Hotel or something where there is a nice conference, you have the refreshment and you have water, you have everything with you, and then this knowledge is being given. No. This is spoken in the, very, very weird, difficult situations. Arjuna is asking questions in the battlefield of Kurukshetra where the war is just ready to begin. Just imagine the situation. And Krishna is also explaining very wonderfully and nicely. Then you see Parikshit Maharaj is asking the questions where he has already got the ultimatum of his death in the 7 days. And the way he is asking the questions, the curiosity he is expressing is also mind-blowing. 7 days without eating, without sleeping, he's asking. So he's not asking for himself. He's just doing a service. He's asking all these things for us, for the devotees, for the normal people who can take benefit by reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So Yudhishthira Maharaj is also not asking for himself, but asking for everybody how he should rule the country, what are the things he should be careful about, what happens in the life of the devotees? These are all very practical questions which Yudhishthir Maharaj is asking. And just imagine these questions which were asked thousands and thousands of years ago. Do you think these are not applicable now? Anything which is very, very old does not become applicable. We have our Indian constitution when it was initially brought in. From then we have more than 350 amendments which are there in the Indian constitution in the last 75 years, not even 75 years. But this transcendental knowledge which is spoken, thousands and thousands of years back, is having the same, intensity, same effect even now, and it is going to be there, in the future as well. And that is a proof that this is a transcendental knowledge and this is not any material knowledge. Okay, so here we see that Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking and he is worried. Prabhupada is writing in his purport, he says, Yudhishthira Maharaj is disturbed. He's disturbed because he has seen a great massacre. There are so many people who died when this Kurukshetra battle was fought. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, being a very good devotee, he is concerned. He is somewhere thinking that he is the reason behind all these calamities. So what are your thoughts? What do you think? Is Yudhishthira Maharaj, whatever he's thinking is correct? Is he the cause? Sometimes we may also get this thought that I think what Yudhishthira is thinking is right, unnecessarily why he was required to fight this battle. What is your thought? Anybody?
No, Prabhuji, it's not right.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So Yudhishthira Maharaj is not thinking right here. Even Rajnath Prabhu says it was the desire of the Supreme Lord. Yes, Prabhu. So what Yudhishthir is thinking is not correct here. He is thinking himself to be the cause of the massacre. But just imagine if Yudhishthir had not taken up the rule, what would be the plight of the nation, plight of the world? Draupadi, who had 5 husbands, was disrobed in the entire courthouse, in the place where there's so many great leaders were there. So many gurus were there. In the presence of all those people, disrobing Draupadi was one of the worst thing which the Kauravas could do. And when they can do such an act for Draupadi, who was a Kulvadhu, who was the wife of the Pandavas, and there were so many senior devotees were there, like Vishnu-pitama, Kripacharya, Dronacharya. In the presence of all those people, when they had the guts and ability to disrobe a woman, just imagine the plight of a normal woman under the rule of the Kauravas. What would be the plight of a normal woman? What will be the plight of a normal person under their rule? So it was very, very important for Yudhishthira Maharaj to take over. And imagine it was not that Yudhishthira Maharaj one day he decided, I'm going to fight. We all know, I'm not going to get into those stories, but we all know that how Yudhishthira Maharaj and the Pandavas tried to avoid the war. They were continuously trying to avoid it, but when it became inevitable, then they had to fight the battle, and that is how they fought the battle. And all the people who were on the side of the Kauravas and the evil people, they were destroyed and killed. And it was a cleaning activity which was done by Krishna himself. And we see Duryodhan. Duryodhan is the son of Dhritarashtra. So Duryodhan's initial name was not Duryodhan. His name was Suyodhan. But because of his activities, good karma vibhagashe. So because of his activities, he was called as Duryodhan, because all Dur means all dirty things which he was doing, all against the religion. So from Suyodhan, he became Duryodhan. And one incident I would like to mention here, there was a time when Dronacharya, he asked Yudhishthira Maharaj and Duryodhan that go to your kingdom and find out one very good person and one person who is very, very bad, full of faults. So both of them went, and after some time, after a couple of days, they both returned. So when they both returned, so when Dronacharya asked this question to Duryodhana, what do you think is who is the most efficient person in your kingdom? So Duryodhan said, I was searching, but whenever I was searching, I was finding some or the other faults in people. So there is nobody who is perfect. There is nobody who is efficient in my kingdom except me. He said he is the most perfect one in the kingdom. But when the same question was asked to Yudhishthir Maharaj, he was saying, when I was looking into the kingdom, I was finding everybody to be more efficient. Somebody had some good quality better than me. Someone else had some other good, better quality better than me. So they were all, very, very efficient, and they had some good quality. So I think I am the one who is the most inefficient, and I have a lot of, scope of correcting myself and growing. So this was the understanding both of them had. So just imagine if somebody becomes a king and he thinks I'm the best, I'm the perfect, I have nothing to change, which means I'm not going to listen to anyone's advice. Any guru is not required for that person. Then just imagine what is going to be the plight of the world. Because if the ruler is not good, then the kingdom will suffer. There will be scarcity in the kingdom, of scarcity of food, scarcity of water. There will be, untimely deaths. There will be accidents. There will be calamities when the king is not good. This is the rule. This is the responsibility of a king. And when the king is not good, he will go to hell for sure, and along with his entire generation, but he will create havoc for the entire society as well. So that is why it was very, very important for Duryodhana to give up the kingdom and Yudhishthira Maharaj to take up the kingdom for the good of all. We also see the example of Dhritarashtra. So Dhritarashtra was the one who was always, he used to think that Dhritarashtra used to think that, my son is the best, and whatever he does, it is good. So there were times when Dhritarashtra was aware that his son is not doing something which is right, and still he was supporting his son. And that was the great mistake Dhritarashtra did. And because of that mistake, his entire generation was wiped out. All the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra were killed. So this is the learning from the scriptures that, if you are on the side of injustice, doing things which are not fair against the dharma, which are not told by the Lord, dharmam tu shakshat bhagavad pranitam. If you're doing something which is not recommended by the Lord, it is going to turn into evil. It is going to be turning into dirty, and it is going to destroy not only you, not only us, but for the entire generation which is going to come. So that is the risk. Sometimes we might not think, okay, I think nobody is watching, I can do this, it's okay. But that one wrong step will take us away from Krishna, and that will also invite a lot of, negative effects on our Krishna consciousness. So it is very, very important that we watch our actions, we watch our thoughts. And you see here that Dhritarashtra's, inefficiency became the cause of his destruction. We also see many parents nowadays, they are always supporting their children. There are many, women who are not an ideal, wives. They do not have good qualities. But when the matter is reaching to their parents, the parents never, correct the daughters. They will say, yes, yes, whatever my daughter is doing, it's right. It's okay. She's my daughter. And that is how, the entire family suffers because of this one person who was not trained well in how to lead a life of a wife. So similarly, it happens for the husband also. If the husband is not doing the duty properly, then it is going to affect the entire family, entire society. And you see all these examples. Dhritarashtra's mother, I mean Dhritarashtra's wife, Gandhari was still okay, but Dhritarashtra was horrible. So because of that, all his 100 sons were killed. And the same example we can see from the Ravana's life. Ravana's father was good, but mother was hopeless. So because of that, Ravana and his entire generation was wiped out. But you see, in the case of Prahlad Maharaj, his father was not a devotee, but mother was a very good devotee. So because of that, Prahlad, when she was hearing the pastimes of the Lord through the proper sampradaya, through Narad Maharishi, so that was the effect that Prahlad became such a wonderful devotee. So this is the good news for the people who think that their second half is not good, not cooperative in Krishna consciousness. So the good news is that if you are very, very dedicated and sincere, then Lord is going to take care of you and your entire generation as well, like he did for Prahlad Maharaj. So moving ahead, we spoke about these points, that why Yudhishthir Maharaj was very, very disturbed, and what was the reason for Yudhishthir Maharaj to take over the kingdom. And we also understood that there was no reason for Yudhishthir Maharaj to feel bad about the situation. And then, like Prajnath Prabhu rightly mentioned, this was the thought which was directed by Krishna in the mind of Yudhishthir, that he will go and ask these questions. And like I spoke in the beginning of the class, that Arjuna was having similar doubts, Parikshit Maharaj was having the doubts. And just imagine the wonderful service these devotees are doing. Arjuna, such intelligent, efficient person, very wonderful devotee. He is becoming, he's asking these questions to Krishna just for the benefit of the coming generation. Just imagine what wonderful, sincere, amazing devotees they were. And that is why Krishna is calling Arjuna his friend. He says, Bhakto asime sakha cheti. He says, you're my devotee and you are my friend. And that is why I am giving this knowledge to you. So if you also want to become very, very dear to Krishna, and if you want to become a sakha of Krishna, then this offer is open to you as well. It is not that it was only open to Arjuna. This offer is open to you as well. How it is open to us? Because when we start doing preaching, when we are sharing Krishna consciousness, when we're doing this Krishna Katha, when we are helping somebody to grow and to pick up Krishna consciousness, remember Krishna is going to call you your friend, his friend, Bhakto asime sakha cheti. And the output of that is going to be Krishna is going to reveal about himself to you because you are trying to explain Krishna to someone. Similarly, like Arjuna was trying to explain, he became a fool and he was asking this question for the benefit of all. That is what is attracted, that is what attracts Krishna. We see the example of Parikshit Maharaj. He had all the power to counteract and stop the upcoming death in the 7 days, but he accepted it as a will of the Lord. And why he accepted? Because he knew that once he is gone from the material world, there is going to be the entry of Kali Yuga, and when Kali Yuga enters, there is going to be disturbances. But there is one very good news in the Kali Yuga. What is the very good news? The Kali Yuga has a very good one very good advantage, and that is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. I think it is in the 12th canto, first chapter, shloka number 52. So yes, Prabhu, you're right, holy name. And the shloka is not getting. I think Kritya Dhyayate Vishnu Trayato Yajito Makhe. So whatever benefits people were getting in the previous ages by doing tapasya, yagna, deity worship, you are going to get everything in this age of Kali just by chanting the holy name of the Lord. And there is another shloka which is just before this shloka which says Kalera dosh nidhe rajan asti hi eko mahan guna, which means there are so many, the Kali Yuga is ocean of faults, but there is one very good thing, and that good thing is the holy name of the Lord. And that is why you see Parikshit Maharaj, doing a big sacrifice, giving up his life and accepting the death. Not only accepting the death, he was ready to, ask questions in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And he asked all sort of questions, which is going to help us in our Krishna consciousness. And see, that is how the wonderful devotees are. And see, Lord is also not, when this competition is there to glorifying the devotee and the Lord, so Lord is also nowhere behind. He is always trying to glorify his devotees. How he is glorifying his devotees? You see, he called Arjuna his own friend. And you see, for Yudhishthir Maharaj, and the other devotee was Bhīṣma Pitama. So he glorified Bhīṣma Pitama by sending Yudhishthir to Bhīṣma. He would have, explained everything to himself. I mean, to Yudhishthir by himself, but he did not do that. He wanted this knowledge to come from Bhishma Pitama, and that is how Lord was glorifying Bhishma Pitama, that you are my wonderful devotee and I am going to glorify you. The coming generation is going to hear from the advices which you have given about, for Varnas, for system, how a king should rule. Everything Bhishma spoke. And when Bhishma was speaking, there are so many sages who are present there from that age, from the previous age, from the time of Lord Sri Ram. Also, there were some sages, Vasishtha Muni, Vishwamitra, all those devotees were there who came to hear the wonderful instructions of Bhishma Pitama. You see how nicely Lord is glorifying his own devotees. That's the beauty. And the point to understand here is that the criminals are controlled by police and the devotees are controlled by the direct government. So how does that happen? See, the criminals. So criminals are the one who do not believe in God, who do not follow the process of bhakti. They are termed as criminal because they're doing everything for their own sense gratification. They are using the air, which is the oxygen, which is given by Krishna. They are using the land, which is given by Krishna. They are eating the food which is cultivated on the land. They are drinking the water which is given by the Lord, but they are not thankful to the Lord. They are the one who are killing the animals. So these are called criminals. And how are the criminals treated? They are treated by the police. The police system is there. They will put, some handcuffs in their hands and they will take these criminals. So they are directing these criminals, the police department is directing these criminals. But on the other hand, you see the devotees. Devotees are also controlled by the Lord, but not like the police is controlled by the criminal. I mean, the criminals are controlled by police. It's not like that. The Lord is controlling the devotees. He is controlling in a very nice manner. Like, for example, we see in the government, you see the district commissioner, the district magistrate, the member of IS committee is the chief most, who is responsible for maintaining the law and order in the society, who is responsible to providing the amenities to the citizens. So when there is an instruction which comes from the district magistrate, it is ensured by the superintendent of police and the police department to ensure that the rule is followed. But they don't handcuff the normal citizens. The good citizens are not handcuffed. They are rather protected by the government. They are protected, safeguarded by the government. So you see, both are directed by the government, but one in a very bad manner and the other one with full safety and protection. And that is what happens when we become devotees. We are always protected and controlled by the Lord. But when we are not becoming devotees, when we are becoming thief, then we are controlled by the Maya, which is called the police department. And Maya keeps thrashing us. Maya tells us, okay, you don't do Krishna consciousness, you sleep nicely, you eat nicely, and you enjoy your senses. But later on, we get to know we have got so many diseases. We get to know that we were depending on someone, thinking that someone is going to be always helpful, that someone likes me a lot. But Maya Devi, makes us realize, you stupid fool, you were thinking, apart from Krishna, there is someone else. Your family, your home members, your relatives, they are going to be caring for you. You see, this is the example. Now I've shown it to you. Your family doesn't care for you. Your relatives doesn't care for you. Your friends also do not care for you. But Krishna cares for you. So this is the beauty. And Krishna never cheats the devotees. He is always caring and helping and protecting the devotees. So Krishna wanted so we talked about this point that Krishna wanted his devotees to be glorified. So that is how we got this point. And the last couple of minutes, I wanted to just focus on the troubles which were faced by the Pandavas. So in the devotee's life, these troubles are just the namesake troubles. They are not actual troubles. And we also sometimes get carried away that, oh, I'm getting so many troubles. My family is giving me so many tortures. And sometimes when Prabhuji is a devotee, Mataji is not a devotee, and vice versa, it becomes very difficult. In the office, we are troubled. Sometimes the health reasons we are troubled. And sometimes we also start thinking that, okay, I am troubled. But the fact is, Pandavas never felt that they are troubled. They were always very happy. And the very big proof of that is that when Pandavas were sent in the forest, they were enjoying the association of the Lord, association of the sages. So a devotee is very intelligent. He never gets carried away by the situation. And how does that happen? That happens because the devotee is consistently reading Srila Prabhupada book. A devotee is consistently taking the association of the Vaishnavas. A devotee is never compromising on his or her sadhana. So when a devotee is doing all these things, then the devotee does not forget the actual position. But if somebody is not doing these things, then there is a great chance to forget. Like Ajamila forgot when he saw this prostitute, was embraced by this person. He forgot. He was a devotee. He was following bhakti process, but he forgot. His father had told him, "Don't go from that route," but he was overconfident. He went from that route, and he was carried away. So a devotee is very careful. He doesn't become very puffed up that nobody can, Maya Devi cannot do anything to me. He's always humble, always in the prayer mode, and never gives up the association of the Vaishnavas. And when the association of the Vaishnavas also, the devotee only is interested talking about the topics which are related to the Lord and not about the material things. So that's the beauty of a devotee, and that is why there is no fall down. In the life of a devotee, he is always protected. So Pandavas were not upset. Whatever situation they got, they enjoyed that situation and they made the most of it. Whether it is Agyatvas, whether it is Vanvas, whatever it is, they were enjoying. And see, another great proof is that Kunti Maharani, she was praying to the Lord that, my dear Lord, I should get more difficulties, because when the difficulty is there, then you are there with us. So you see these great devotees. Srila Prabhupada faced so many difficulties. Guru Maharaj is facing so many health difficulties. But in spite of all that, if you see, if you ask Guru Maharaj, he says, I'm very, very happy internally. Correct. Lord Sri Ram was facing a lot of difficulties. Even he was sent to the forest. What to talk about the devotees? Even the Lord is not spared in the material world. They send him to the forest. Even Lord Krishna, there's Shishupal. He used to give 99 galis to all abusive words to Krishna, and see Krishna had to hear all that. So when somebody is having that attitude towards us, or when somebody is disrespecting us, then that's fine. We don't have to be worried about it, because we know the real purpose of life. And what is the real purpose of life? I was hearing a lecture of Srila Prabhupada. He was mentioning a devotee sees the real picture. And what is the real picture? There are 84 lakh species of life, and there is a great risk to fall down in the cycle of this transmigration. How does this transmigration works? First we need to become aquatics for some lakhs of life. I forgot how many times, how many lakhs. So there are so many lakhs of aquatics life we have to take. Then we become plants, and after becoming plants, we become insects, and after becoming insects, we become birds, and after becoming birds, we get into the four-legged animal's body, and then we go to the human body. And in the human body also there are 4 lakh species of human bodies are there. So see, these are the risks which are there if we do not understand the real picture, that I have got this human body, and after so many birth, I have become a human, and not only human, now I am in the service of the Lord. Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyante Vasudevam Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Lord is saying such Mahatmas are very durlabh, and when we are in the association of such Mahatmas, it will be very foolish to go back in the transmigration cycle. Suppose somebody is not dressing up properly, Mataji or Prabhuji is not dressing up properly, is keeping his the dresses open. So such people take the birth of a plant. And just imagine becoming a plant, and then again becoming an insect, then again becoming bird, then becoming four-legged animals, and then coming back to the human life. Such a big rewind has happened in the life of a devotee just by the small mistake which they do. So that is why a devotee has to follow all the etiquettes, how to dress up like a devotee, how to talk like a devotee, how to lead a life as a devotee, how to make our choices as a devotee, how to hear the guidance from the senior Vaishnavas. These are all very, very good things which a devotee, an intelligent devotee follows. But somebody who is not intelligent, he or she comes into Krishna consciousness and still loses the wonderful opportunity they had received, because they never read, they never took the association, they never attended classes, they never came for the service. They just came as a fashion for the in Krishna consciousness, trying to decorate themselves and show off. But the show off doesn't work in front of Krishna. So this is the point. And when we are following the process of Krishna consciousness, then Lord is always going to protect us. And by protection does not mean that he is going to provide the bodily protection. He does provide that also, but the protection means that he is safeguarding our bhakti, that our bhakti is not lost. That is the biggest thing. Because see, if the Lord is protecting only body and not the bhakti, then there is not much benefit, because Lord protects the body and then the bhakti is gone. So what is the point? But if the Lord is somehow protecting the bhakti, even in the next body which we get, our Krishna consciousness continues. And why does Lord do this? Because he does not want us to go back in the same transmigration cycle. He is calling us that you come to us, and don't waste your time in falling into this trap of Maya. So remember always that Krishna is going to give what is good for our bhakti, and he is also going to take away what is not good, so that we reach him instead of getting stuck to this material world again. So if you do not want to take the risk of Krishna taking away things, then it's better we perform the bhakti properly with whatever we have. Otherwise, Krishna will think, oh, he's become very rich. He is not focusing in his chanting. 1 second, let me take his money out. and and if we are attracted with our vehicle and enjoying the rides in our vehicle and not doing our bhakti, then Krishna will think, okay, wait, let me take away your bike. Let me take away your car. I think you are too much interested in these things, and you stupid, you do not know that you are wasting your human life. Correct? So if you want, you do not want to take a risk that Krishna takes away things, then you do proper bhakti, whatever position you are. If you are rich, very good. be rich, but be, be very Krishna conscious, do your bhakti properly, chant your rounds, and you know how to do bhakti, following the instructions of the senior Vaishnavas. Do it, then it will be fine. Then Krishna is not going to snatch away. But if you're not doing properly, then Krishna is going to snatch away, because Krishna wants to do this for your benefit. And in the end, I will also mention this shloka, this doha, which is mentioned by Kabir Das. Kabir Das says, Sukh mein sumiran, dukh mein sumiran sab kare, sukh mein kare na koi. Jo sukh mein sumiran kare, to dukh kahe hoy. I mean, this was told to me by one of the person I met in the temple. So the point is that, when we are sad, we remember Krishna. Oh, my Lord, where are you? This, that, and all. But when we are happy, we forget that, this is given by Lord only. But when we do not forget Krishna, when we are happy, then you are not going to get into that position when you are unhappy. Our entire perception of happiness and sadness will go away. Like Achinta Prabhu recently, he had mentioned that when we stand near the building, we might think that this building is very, very tall, very, very big. But when we fly in the airplane, we find the same buildings very, very small. In the same manner, when we are following Krishna consciousness properly, then the so-called problems will not look like big buildings. It will look like those minor blocks, which is not at all affecting a devotee. When it could not affect Prahlad Maharaj, when it didn't affect Kunti Maharani, Pandavas, then we are the followers of the same sampradaya. When it didn't affect Srila Prabhupada, when it is not affecting our Guru Maharaj, then why the problem should affect us? These problems are only the namesake problems, only the time for the time being. But our real problem is that if we miss out this opportunity, then that is the real problem. And I would like to end with this point, that the real problem is that falling back into the trap of Maya. But apart from that, there is no problem at all. Job problem, not a problem. Not getting married, no problem. Husband issue, no problem. Wife issue, no problem. Rich, no problem. Poor, no problem. Health issue, no problem. To a certain extent, it is a problem, but yes, because it is affecting our Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, even that is not problem. Our real problem is that we forget Krishna. So apart from that, a devotee has no problem. So the real purpose is that, whatever it is, engage in the devotional service with full happiness, full joy, because you are one of those few chosen people who are very, very rare. Even Krishna is saying, Sudurlabha, very, very rare. You are rarest of the rare. And don't miss this opportunity. Take shelter of Guru, take shelter of your senior devotees, and nicely perform Krishna consciousness with full happiness, with no sorrow, no moroseness, full happiness. Perform your Krishna consciousness and make the most of it. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Patita Pavan Guru Maharaj ki jai. If I have committed any mistakes, I seek your forgiveness by folded hands. Hare Krishna. Over to all.